The Apple Vision Pro isn't really designed for gaming per se. In fact, it's not even really marketed for gaming, but it surprisingly makes a pretty decent gaming device even without controllers. Today we are talking about gaming on the Apple Vision Pro, some of the native apps that you can play, the best ones to try out, and a really awesome feature where you can play flat games on a massive screen in 4K that looks stunning. Even without controllers, the Apple Vision Pro actually has some pretty decent games on it already, including LEGO A Builder's Journey. I've actually played a fair amount of this now, and I will admit to being wrong when I'm wrong. When I did my initial video, I didn't properly test actually grabbing the brick pieces with my fingers, and I wrongfully said that all games use pinch interaction. That's actually not 100% true. If you scale the game up and bring it close to you, which isn't even hard, you actually can kind of stick your head into the world and grab the brick pieces in this instance for this game and put them where you want them, making for a really immersive and really cool experience for LEGO A Builder's Journey. It's one of the games I highly recommend playing if you have a Vision Pro, because not only is it a beautiful game and it looks amazing on this device, it's really a fun puzzle game too that really works well with hand tracking interactions. Now, I also mentioned Game Room as the chess specifically not working that way either, and since then I've actually played several rounds of chess when I was scolded for being wrong by some of my peers. Just kidding, I actually wasn't scolded. I feel like an absolute fool for not actually testing it properly, but I'll admit when I'm wrong, so I was wrong about that. You actually can grab items in the Game Room game and move them around like chess pieces. So if you get up and actually walk closer to the board and walk around the board, you can actually move your chess pieces like you would on any other hand tracking game in other virtual reality headsets. In fact, you can actually play solitaire and other games in this using your actual hands to pick things up, which does make for an interesting gaming experience. Now, inevitably, I know exactly what you're going to say. Solitaire, chess, LEGO games, Cut the Rope 3, they're not going to sell me on a $3,500 headset. And I agree, this is not a gaming headset. But if you're going to have it anyways, or if you're curious how to play games on it, this hopefully will give you a little bit of information, but I don't recommend buying this as a gaming headset because there's no controllers and it's not designed for that in the first place. It just happens to be a feature that works. On top of those couple of games, there's actually some other stuff, like I mentioned Cut the Rope 3, which is definitely designed to be used with a pinch interaction. In fact, it's just like a stereoscopic 3D view of the original game. And there's other immersive games as well. For instance, Puzzling Places is an awesome puzzling game that's on other VR platforms, and it works really well with hand tracking. It actually is a beautiful puzzle game if you want to relax on your couch and play a puzzle game that's kind of mind-taxing, but also really beautiful as well. Now, if you want something much more relaxing, Luna Cozy Puzzle Games is a puzzle game as well, but different than Puzzling Places. Another couple spatial games that I've mentioned in the past are Synth Riders and Fruit Ninja. Now, Synth Riders still suffers from some latency because of the hand tracking, as does Fruit Ninja, which hopefully will be updated later, but those are the real two spatial games. So Synth Riders is by far the most spatial immersive game on the Vision Pro currently, because you can actually turn on immersive mode and play the game surrounded by a virtual environment, which is pretty rare on this device unless you turn it on purpose, because not a lot of games or apps actually utilize a full immersive mode, or at least very few of them do. Now, Fruit Ninja isn't fully immersive in the sense that it puts you in a new world, but it does take your environment and overlays grass and other pieces on your environment to make it feel more like a mixed reality game and not just like a window you're looking at to play a game, which again is pretty unique right now for the Vision Pro because there's not a lot to do with that type of software on the platform as of yet. What the Golf is another game I mentioned, I think, in one of my other videos, and it is, again, not immersive. It's more of like a 3D game that you can play in front of you, but it is spatial at the very least. It's not a flat screen, which there's very few of them, so I kind of have to pick from a small list of actual games. Overall, though, a lot of these interactions in the games themselves, they do make it feel like there's a lot of potential for games on the Apple Vision Pro, and hopefully that means the future headsets from Apple, as the price goes down and the technology gets cheaper and more people can actually buy the headset, will have actual real games, maybe even controllers someday that actually utilize this incredible screen and make it so you can play real games on this screen, which honestly is the clearest, most incredible thing I've ever seen. Speaking of that, one of the most mind-blowing experiences that I've had on the Apple Vision Pro is actually playing flat games on a giant screen. Now, I've talked about this on the channel in the past. If you watched any of my videos on Quest 3, playing Xbox games using Xbox Cloud streaming, or playing PC games on there using other ways to do it, this is on an entirely different level. You can actually play Xbox Game Pass games the same way as on Quest 3, sort of, except for you're going to use a browser called the Nexus browser. I'm going to make a video on how to do it exactly and showcase some more gameplay in the future, but the Nexus browser is how you want to use that. You actually can use a PS5 controller or an Xbox wireless controller, or I think a Switch Pro controller, to actually play and connect it to your Vision Pro. And once you've done that, you can play GeForce Now or Xbox Cloud Gaming. Those are the two that I've tested so far. Wow. Xbox Cloud Gaming is good, but it caps out at 1080p. So it looks okay at a bigger screen, but not like really clear. The GeForce Now, though, renders the screen. I don't even know what the specific resolution is, but it is really high. Because as you can see, I was playing Call of Duty Warzone here, and honestly, and this is no joke, no exaggeration, the screen was sharper and clearer than the two of my 4K TVs I have in my house and my nice 4K projector. It was incredible. The color rendition is really good. The sharpness in comparison to the scale was mind-blowing. I've got 8-foot tall ceilings, and it was as tall as my 8-foot wall and really wide, whatever that is. It was huge anyways, like bigger than any screen I've ever seen or used physically in real life. And it was the clearest I've ever seen. Like, how is it that clear? I don't even understand. At 4K per eye, I expected clear visuals on the Apple Vision Pro, but some of the digital assets and things you're seeing in the headset really are very, very good. Now, I'm saying all of this as I use this headset more and more every single day, and I see use cases that are actually very impressive, but not to the point where I'm going to recommend you spend $3,500. What this is doing, though, is making me more excited for other hardware out there to come out, either from Apple or from other companies, utilizing similar technology and this clarity of screens and lenses, and realizing that the future of VR is a lot more clear than I thought that it was, in the sense that these images are crisp and clean in a way that I've never experienced in VR before, even on things like the Big Screen Beyond, or especially things like the Quest line. Quest 3 is great. It looks a lot better than the Quest 2, the Quest Pro, or the Quest 1, but Apple Vision Pro is on another level entirely, and at the price it really should be. But I was surprised just how much higher of a level it was on. And hopefully we'll see other companies start to utilize technology like this, because I can't even imagine playing a PC VR game on a device that has this clarity, that has this clearness and the fidelity of the screens. I don't even know. Like, unfortunately, I think that if you played a Quest game on something with this visual quality, you would see a lot more flaws. I don't know. It would take a lot more power, let me put it that way, to render at this resolution than it is on Quest 3. So I'm hoping as the hardware catches up and power comes more easily and in a smaller, more condensed package with better cooling, we'll be able to actually see that type of resolution on a standalone headset. As of right now, though, I don't know when we'll see the clarity like this on a Quest line device or even for PC VR, but I can give Apple props for this. They've blown my mind when it comes to the visual fidelity of this device, when it comes to gaming or not. But gaming on this device, especially flat screen gaming, is incredible, and something I didn't think I was going to actually use. But I would actually prefer to play some of my PC games and Xbox games on this thing than on my TV. And that's incredible. Well, there you go. Hopefully that gives you an overview of gaming on the Apple Vision Pro. There's not a lot to it, really, right now, except for the flat gaming aspect, which is massive, and the potential is huge. I think there's a lot of potential for spatial gaming, too. There's just not a lot out there for it. So let me know in the comments what games you've tried, if you have one, or what games you want to see brought to the Apple Vision Pro if you're planning on getting one, or if you're not planning on getting one and you're just curious about the device. Let me know in the comments what you hope to see in the future from other companies, and hopefully be able to see this expand in quality, given that Apple's now kind of set the bar even higher. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more VR content, Apple Vision Pro content, all the above. Thank you again for watching, and as always, happy questing.